This isn't, oh, giant dinosaur that can breathe fire. No, this isn't that. This is not just a giant lizard with atomic breath. This is something worse. This Godzilla would have turned into something Lovecraftian, eldritch in nature, horrifying. What started off as a normal marine animal, a lizard that got exposed to radioactive waste in the ocean. He became something else. He evolved and evolved and evolved and evolved. And that's the problem. He doesn't stop evolving. He doesn't just grow big into one version of Godzilla. No, he adapts to everything. You see, I always talk about the alien monster standards in film. The ones that I don't want to fuck with. The Thing alien that assimilates everything. Calvin, he will consume you en masse, and he's virtually unstoppable. You got the xenomorphs. If they ever came down here, it's over. They're going to impregnate their way through our entire race. But Shin Godzilla, this takes Godzilla as a monster to a whole new level. This is the scariest version of this creature, y'all. I don't even know if I'd say it's the most powerful, but its final form might have been the one we didn't get to see. I've always found this Godzilla creepy. I don't like the way this thing looks. It looks unhinged and demonic. It looks like something that shouldn't exist ever. Look at this mouth. Here are the powers. It has all the standard powers of the Godzilla. You got the heat ray, the atomic heat ray, the dorsal plate beams, tail, oh, it can shoot energy out of its tail. It's got a bunch of shit it can absorb energy and use as weapons, but I want to focus on self-mutation. Shin Godzilla can rapidly and adaptively mutate its DNA at will. In terms of survival and beating the shit out of people, this is so OP of an ability y'all don't even know. It's got many forms. Some which are more terrifying than others. One of its forms is literally this, early on in the film. Who the hell wants to be facing this? Then it continuously grows and grows and grows until it grows into a Godzilla-like being we know. But then we've managed to defeat it at the end by freezing its blood with some kind of coagulant that freezes it in place, okay? We've won. But if you zoom in on the tail at the end, you saw what it was going to be. It was going to morph into little mini Godzillas that were humanoid, H.R. Giger-esque. That would have taken. This was literally a reflection of us, of humanity. And these humanoid Godzillas would be running around killing human beings because now it adapted to humans. Before, it was just this walking giant target for humans to dispose of, to attack every which way. Now, it's a bunch of humanoid monsters destroying us, infiltrating our cities, maybe even infecting us. Killing us has become much easier because now you got a freaking Godzilla humanoid zombie army. There are three possibilities from this. Ones we didn't see on screen because Shin Godzilla got defeated, right? But the cancelled sequel would have shown us what the actual forms would have been. There are three possibilities for what would have occurred if this being made it out. Assimilation? Maybe these humanoid Godzillas would have started assimilating people, infecting them with Godzilla DNA, creating a hybrid army. And then maybe those hybrids would have all joined into one giant Godzilla human hybrid, humanoid. That's a motherfucking scary thought. But even scarier is what happens to the flesh. What happens, let's say if the armies did kill off these humanoid monsters. Maybe the humanoids became easier to kill because they were smaller and less durable than the giant Godzilla. Maybe we blew them the fuck up. Did we win then? Do we win in that case? We just destroyed his army. In a deleted scene, this is what happens to Godzilla's flesh. A piece of its flesh is seen, growing eyes, moving, as if this is all part of one big hive mind. This is one of the most terrifying thoughts, because imagine if you blow up all these Godzillas and their flesh starts contorting and joining into something like this. A slimy flesh monster like the Thing and Slither put together. Blowing it up. If you manage to nuke this Godzilla from the inside and blow it to pieces, its flesh would turn into an eldritch abomination of flesh that would use its tentacles to consume humanity, either by assimilation or just feeding on it, to grow its mass. That was another form that was hinted at. But the one I want to touch on right now is what I call the Evangelion form. Okay? Hear me out. This is concept art for a sixth form, or maybe the end of the fifth form for Shin Godzilla, where those humanoid Godzillas would turn angelic. They'd become feminine in nature, and they'd start doing this. They'd start doing this with their wings. It's like they're praying or they worship something. What the fuck? What has happened? What is going on with this Godzilla? This ain't Godzilla. This is something entirely different, man. There's a film, I think it's a film called End of Evangelion. It's like Neon Genesis Evangelion fans know what I'm talking about. Basically, there are beings known as angels, okay? They're like these kaiju alien creatures that are essentially, they're basically progeny of Adam, right? Now, in this, I believe they got a lot of influence from Neon Genesis, okay? Toho Japan, and I'm pretty sure they actually, Universal Studios in Japan, actually combined these franchises together for some theme park ride and a short film called Godzilla vs. Evangelion, I believe. So you have to think that they got influences from this, okay? At the end of that film, there is a unification event, okay? Basically, the angel fuses with one of the main characters who has the blood or soul of Lilith or something. They fuse together to form this giant angel being that's the size of the world. And this creature causes what's known as the third impact, or tries to cause the third impact. Basically, the third impact is a cataclysmic event that merges all of humanity into a single entity called human instrumentality. This would signal the next evolution of the human race. Look at this. This is all of humanity joined together. This is one crazy ass image. This is one fucking crazy ass image, okay? What this event would cause is the forced evolution of humanity through a cataclysmic event, the third impact, merging the Lilith-based life and the Adam-based life, leading to a new form of existence. Humans and angels will be merged together to create a new evolution. I believe that they took inspiration from this in Shin Godzilla, and they were going to go biblical with this, y'all. Don't leave yet. You know I'm right deep down. You all know I am right. Okay? This creature's been adapting to fight off humanity and survive. What if it adapted to transcend? What if it got to the point where it was able to beat humanity and it transcended our realm? It adapted to become something cosmic. This is Shin Godzilla's fifth form, alright? It became humanoids. These humanoids became angelic in nature. And because they all function in a hive mind, because of that flesh thing I showed you, they decided these beings, their purpose would be beyond survival. They would adapt beyond that. I believe that Shin Godzilla's final form would have been basically Toho's version of Judgment Day. Hear me out, okay? When we're going biblical with this, most would associate something like Shin Godzilla with like the Beast of Revelation, the seven-headed dragon, basically something that's of the devil. This is not that, no. These are fucking angels. These look angelic in nature. Why? You have to understand, why was this even part of the concept art? It's because they knew where they were going with this. They were going very biblical with this. Humanity was getting taken to God. Here. Angels, what do? I googled this. I don't know anything about Bible or scripture, but they assist in the final judgment process, recording human deeds and guiding souls. What would Shin Godzilla's version of this be? These entities, these humanoid winged angelic entities, would start grabbing all of the humans and taking them up to fucking space, to the heavens. They would take them to space and organically fuse everybody in a Brethren Moon style event that would cause us all to be fused in space. Basically, all of us are taken to heaven, literally and symbolically, to meet God. Shin Godzilla's end form is taking us to our maker in Judgment Day. And when we are there, we're all bioorganically infused together. And he would reform into a Godzilla, a berserker monster, come down to Earth and destroy everything that's left, destroying the planet. This is the end of the times. That's what he does. Godzilla's always been symbolic, y'all. Always. He reflects us. He reflects the destruction that we cause. But this would have been symbolic in a whole new way. The humanoids are mirrors to us. But then when they transcend to the angelic form, we have caused the end of times, is basically what Shin Godzilla's sequel would have been. I believe. A monster that was so powerful, it literally took us to God. Give us a sequel. We need to see it. We need to see it. I know they canceled it, and I love Godzilla -1. I love that they made the movie, but I want to see this because Shin Godzilla has potential for one of the craziest takes on Godzilla ever. Something that's beyond just a dinosaur that shoots atomic breath. A lot of Godzilla fans have hated me in the past, straight up. They have. This is a fact. Because I keep saying, oh, this monster might be Godzilla, or this monster might put up a fight against Godzilla. They don't even want to hear that. But I'm going to tell you, the end version that they were thinking of was beyond like, oh, Godzilla and Kong fight this. No. This was divine. This was cosmic. This was biblical. This was angelic. This is what we were getting at. I guarantee it. I know these people, the people who made this movie, do my cocaine. I know a fellow coked out one when I see one. Okay? That's my theory on that. If you want to know a monster that could have put up a fight against any Godzilla, he'd probably still lose. A kaiju that was an amazing monster in a terrible movie. Check out my video on the Mega Kaiju in Pacific Rim 2. Over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.